Hi everyone, welcome to the Life of Education podcast. So today we're here with Stefan Sanderson. You're the Scottish title champ, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Amazing for last year.
No, from September 2014.
What? Amazing.
Just there, yeah.
Amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank
we
you.
were just before the fight, we were watching your fight on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pretty intense. So tell us, what's that like, being a professional boxer?
It's been my life since I've been 12, 13 years old. Just enjoy fighting. Something I get paid for. So yeah, enjoy it. Basically.
So for people who are not professional boxers, what is that like? What is it like to fight for a living?
It's good, it's intense. It means my job is day to day is just training camps, just training 3 times a day, 6 days a week, 1 day rest, strict diet. Yeah, I enjoy it, you know what I mean? It's just, I prefer that to a 9 to 5 than sitting in an office. You know?
Yeah,
I bet.
fair enough.
What kind of what's the weight that you fight at, or what's the competition you fight at?
It's super welterweight, so it's 154 in pounds, or else 11 stone.
11
What
stone.
does super welterweight mean?
That's about 70 kilos, 72 kilos.
70, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's junior middleweight, junior middle,
so that's
super welter.
Junior, middle, super. So that's the weight that you fight at.
Yeah.
What's the weight that you'd walk around at?
I walk around 75 kilos, say 165,
Yeah.
167.
So you got to lose about 10 pounds before a fight.
Yeah.
And you're dieting now. So how far away is your next fight?
I'm back out. I'm making my first title defence on January 25th.
So you're just smashing it now.
That's me, yeah. No Christmas for me, no
Oh.
turkey, no Christmas dinner.
So is that? What are you? When is it? You said it's end of January.
January 25th, yeah.
So is this what would a kind of a run up to that then look like, from a training perspective? Like
Well,
what kind of stress you putting yourself under?
First thing in the morning, I do a 10, 12k run.
Every day?
Every day, yeah. Apart from Friday's my rest day. So every single day in the mornings. And then I give myself 3-4 hours rest. I'm back in the boxing gym, 12 till 2.
And you're sparring?
My sparring's not started yet. It's my strength conditioning, pad work, bag work, getting my conditioning, my fitness up.
I'll just keep that mic nice and close to you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so getting my fitness, my
Do you do
conditioning, pad
weight
work.
training as well?
Yeah, my weight training comes at night time. So I'm back into my strength conditioning, circuits, agility, feet work, speed work. Yeah, that comes at night time. So after I finish my boxing, I get 4 hours rest, and I'm back in strength and conditioning from 6 o'clock. That's my day, every single day.
Wow, that seems really intense.
Yeah,
Can
tough.
I ask you, so your run in the morning, is this like a leisurely run, or do you run as fast as you can for those 10Ks?
My fast stuff will come. That comes maybe the last 4 or 5 weeks of my camp. So this is just slow feet. This is just fat burning. So this is just a 10, 12k, nice and slow, steady pace. You know, I can pick it up. It just depends how I'm feeling on the morning.
And you're trying to balance that with, you take some individual one-on-one clients as well?
Yeah, I do. I try and minimise my clients to maybe 4 a day.
Yeah.
4 a day, and I squeeze them in between my rest periods from my own training.
So that's also supplementing your daily kind of training load, because
Yeah.
you holding pads, you're still putting a lot of effort in there, I imagine.
Yeah, holding pads, just trying to help people, teach them. But listen, it's something I enjoy. It's something I love the sport.
Yeah.
And I love teaching others and seeing results from other people.
Yeah.
From other people learning also as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I trained with you for a brief period of time, and I remember when you were cutting weight, and one day you were just holding the pads and you just like did that back, and I swear I felt it through my whole arm, like it just went numb. So just so people understand, like obviously you're still working and still doing stuff when you're not doing anything, but you definitely have I'm a girl, so but you got a tough punch. Not that I know, but
No, you punch well yourself. You punch well yourself.
Thankfully, I've not found out how well just yet.
You're next.
Don't piss me
I
off.
might someday find out how well she punches. So how did you get into it at the beginning? Back in whereabouts in Scotland are you from?
Glasgow.
Yeah. So did you get into it in a camp, or was it sort of an after-school activity?
No, my dad's friend ran a boxing gym, Chris McAdam.
Right.
So it was actually quite funny because I started with Chris McAdam when I was maybe 10, 12 years old, me and my older brother Ryan. And then I fell away from the boxing maybe when I hit like 15, that teenage year, and I started running about going mad, all my friends back home, and I fell off for maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 years boxing. But once you've got it, you've got it. You know the logistics. I was back into boxing in my late 20s. No, sorry, my early 20s, say 2021, and I won 3 Scottish titles in the amateurs. So then, my mum and dad were really surprised at my Scottish title fight on September the 14th. I needed someone to do my corner, so I had my coach back from America, and when I was in Glasgow they needed a second, so you need 2 in your corner, and it came to be my amateur coach from back in the day, from when I was 12, 13, and when my mum and dad seen him, they were made up, you know what I mean? So yeah, it was Chris that done my corner, and that's who started me boxing when I was young.
Yeah.
So when you were doing those amateur titles for the Scottish title, were you training or were you trying, or was this just like natural talent?
No. Listen, I wouldn't say it's talent. I'd just say it's hard work. It's hard work. You need to graft. You need to put the work in. You know what I mean?
In terms of training?
Yeah.
Or in terms of having that stamina when you're actually there and you're unafraid?
And the amateurs is different from professional.
How so?
It's, well, I'm up at 10 rounds now, fighting 10 3-minute rounds. Amateurs is a maximum's 3 rounds, 3 2-minute rounds or 3 3-minute rounds. And my amateur training was, I trained myself during the day, mornings before I went to work, and I was in the boxing gym 3 times a week at night, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 hours every week, you know. And it was just constant sparring, bag work with all the other boys in the gym.
Mm-hmm. So it's different.
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm really curious. Like, what does it take when you're in front of somebody and you know that person has the ability to really kick your butt? What does it take from you as an individual, as a person, to like?
No one will kick my butt, Caroline. No one. Absolutely no one. I don't know. I just put a lot of hard work into my training. As long as I'm fit, I'm strong.
Well, what's your mindset like?
You need a heart. It takes a lot of heart. You need to be ready to take a punch, and I don't know. Try not to take a punch if you can, but if it happens, it happens, and obviously it does. But you just need to be focused. You need to be fit. If you're not fit and you take a bad punch, then it's taking you out. So the fitness gets you through it.
How do you find the head punches and the whole talk around the head injuries?
I don't. When you're in there, your adrenaline's going. Your adrenaline's fast, innit? Your adrenaline's just pumping, so you don't feel a thing until after.
Yeah.
Like when I boxed for the Scottish there, September the 14th, I came out with a fractured jaw and a broken nose. But
really?
Yeah.
You didn't know about it?
I never knew, no, until I came out. My adrenaline wore off, and then I couldn't talk. My face swelled up. I couldn't breathe. So yeah, I never knew it happened.
Have you had any heavy knockouts?
Never been knocked out. Never been stopped.
Yeah. Anything in training where you got really got your bell rung?
Never.
Yeah, that's good.
Except with me. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that's good, eh? I suppose that's probably your primary objective as a boxer, is to not get put down.
Put the other people down.
Get down. Yeah, cool. So when you got the jaw, where you broke it in the middle, or you broke it?
It was a joint. A fracture in the middle.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And a busted nose. Who was? Okay, should have seen the other guy.
I know, because you won. Sorry, I can imagine the other guy. Wow.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of talk about head injuries. Do you see that in the older guys, kind of moving on out of your boxing, out of the amateur boxing scene?
What do you mean?
Do you see anybody who's a little bit sort of dazed and slower than they maybe should have been at whatever age they are?
Yeah, I've seen it in older professionals, like for like when you see like, not slower, but you can tell they've took a few nasty punches and stuff. You know what I mean? They've lost a few brain cells.
Yeah, and that's much more the older generation.
Yeah.
So you reckon people are getting a bit smarter about it?
I think they're getting smarter now, and I think it's the boxing. It's a bit more. No, it is safer, because if someone's putting it on the other opponent, then the referee's he's counting a minimum punches that person can take without throwing a punch back.
Okay.
He has to jump in and stop the fight.
So when you say putting it on, like one guy's just hitting the other guy repeatedly,
him,
the
yeah.
refs keep. So what would the number be? Is there a given number, or is it just?
It just depends. It's the refs give and take.
Sure.
Just if the ref says the boy's taking too much violation, then the refs jumping in and stopping the
And
fight.
it's done, and everyone accepts that. There's no dispute, fair play. Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
A lot of fighters sometimes, if they're taking it, and then if the ref jumps in, they dispute it and say, nah, but it's the right decision. Do you know what I mean? It's always the right call.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's still your safety. You want
referee's
people to continue to be able to fight in the long term, as opposed to not being able to get up and literally not getting up.
There's been a lot of premature stoppages, but it's what the ref says. The ref goes. It's his call.
Yeah.
He's the boss when you're in the ring.
Can I ask you? Have you seen the industry change at all in the last few years?
I've seen it change mega. Yes.
Like how? Give me some examples.
It's absolutely. Boxing right now is just, it's flying. It's unbelievable. Everyone's talking about boxing. Everyone's want to get involved in boxing. Everyone's want to train boxing. So, and I think it's just all the big names that have came out, and people are excited to watch and just want to learn. Maybe not fight, but they want to learn and keep fit.
Well, when you look at like the split of the highest paid athletes in the world, some of the top like few are boxers.
Floyd
up there.
Mayweather is number one.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Well, let me ask, why did you decide to do it?
Do you know? I actually really, it's surprising, right? But I really like watching the sport, and I like watching like the fights. So just before you came on, Keith was talking to me. He's like, oh, because I went to watch the fight last week, and he's like, I didn't even realize it was on. And I was saying to him, well, actually, I watched all of them. So even like Connor fighting, I can never pronounce the Russian guy's name, but
Try it.
no.
Khabib. Try it.
Khabib.
No.
Khabib.
Yes, that's easier. And then when he fought Floyd Mayweather, and then Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, and then was it Ricky
Hatton.
Yeah, Ricky Hatton and Manny Pacquiao. Like, I like to watch them, and I like how it's one of those sports where you actually have to be really fit in every field.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a lot of cardiovascular fitness. You have to have a lot of strength. You got to have a lot of fight and a lot of like inner stamina. And I like that, and I like to watch that, and I like to pull that out of myself. So that's kind of why I dabble in and out. Obviously I'm very injured, so I don't want to go into that too much, but that's some of the attributes that I see in boxing that are just, you don't see them in other sports, and you don't see people with that much, like, to be able to stand in front of somebody and know that that person is also the best, and they're standing in front of you, and they have the ability to just, do you know what I mean? It takes a lot of determination and a lot of inner strength to be able to stand in front of someone that you could potentially be quite fearful of. It's almost like akin to standing in front of your fear and facing that, but on a very physical level and very hands-on. And I think to be able to do that, it takes a lot of admiration. I admire that, because a lot of people run away from their fears. They run in the opposite direction. And with boxing, it's the total opposite. Like, I'm going to stand in front of my fear and I'm going to like face it. So it's very admirable. I don't know if that's what you feel.
Nah, I think if you've got fear in boxing, you shouldn't be boxing.
Of course.
You shouldn't be boxing. You need to have confidence,
But
and you need to be mentally, physically strong, and you need to have a heart also.
But that's what's so admirable about it, because you get people in there that are just like fearless. Yeah. It's what do you think?
Yeah, I'm afraid. I don't want someone to punch me in the face. I was saying I've probably thrown, I'm gonna exaggerate, 6 punches in my whole life. And the first 4, I probably got my thumb right in, tucked in nice and deep, so to really emphasize it. I mean, the only fights I've been in have been like scuffles on a rugby pitch.
Yeah.
Growing up on the streets and stuff, like, some of my friends were little troublemakers, but I seemed to avoid all of the scuffles. And if I stepped in, being taller and bigger than people, I tended not to get. I mean, I've been in some 1 or 2 bad fights, but like just as a silly testosterone-driven kid after a few drinks, being in early 20s. But for me, like, I speak to boxers. I would be a rugby player. So I'd go out on a pitch and I'd have a big, massive like Samoans running at me, and I'd have to tackle them, and I'd have big, huge guys landing on me and squashing me and all these things. Some boxers I've spoken to, like, I don't know how you do that. You know, how can you run at a 20-stone Samoan guy and try and take him down?
Yeah, it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, you see, and I would have the exact same frame of reference as how can you stand in a ring, ding ding, and then like I would hate to see myself filmed. If someone gave, you know, these white collar boxing things.
Yeah.
There was a slim, you know what this is, where like
I absolutely know what that is.
So
I want to do that.
you want to do it?
No, really.
We'll talk after. I know a coach.
I spoke to you about it a while ago. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to do that. I'd love to muster that out of myself.
We'll do it. Well, so I was nearly in one with a good friend of mine. We nearly did it for a charity thing, and thankfully he backed out because I was terrified when the boys were talking about it, like as banter. Because we did it for a few years, and when it came around to everybody had fought that was same height, same level, same this, friends for forever. It came around to my go, and I was like, oh no, I really
It's for charity at the end of the day.
Yeah,
innit? So
I would have done it. I would have like faced the fear. I would have stepped up, but he bailed out. So I was like, thank you.
Yeah, you're not going to hurt each other. Do you know what I mean? It's for charity. So
Yeah.
just to put a show on for the crowd.
Yeah, but I'll go out on a rugby pitch and throw my head around. I'll throw my shoulders around because I think it's also what you're grown up with.
Yeah.
So there's as much as what you didn't say in all those things that are admirable about boxers, there's also the technical side of it.
Yeah,
it is
very
the technical side that you need to maintain under fatigue. But like when you know the technicalities, it's more systemic than just jumping in and throwing haymakers, which is what I would probably do.
Just a lot of repetitive work. So, for example, I'm fighting Craig Kelly. I'm defending my title with Craig Kelly. And back in 2016, on my second professional outing, I took the fight with Craig Kelly, and it was an 8-rounder, and I knocked him out in the 6th round. So he's seen that I won the Scottish title, called me back out, and that was done at his weight. That was done at 140. Light welterweight. So from then I have went back up to 154. So that's 2 weights above.
Right.
So now he's come to my weight where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable down at his weight. I still knocked him out. Don't get me wrong, he was a tough boy. He is tough, he just comes to have a go. But now he's back at my weight.
Yeah.
I'm punching double as hard.
Yeah.
And I'm cleverer than I have been.
Yeah.
That was my second professional fight. You know, I've sparred a lot of different professionals from then. I've learned a lot more stuff. I don't see the fight passing 4 rounds.
Yeah.
So this is the fight that you're going into in January.
It's my title defence. Yeah, he's coming to try and take my belt, but it's not happening.
Okay. Amazing. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be watching it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what's then, like, you're doing all those runs in the morning, you're doing the technical stuff, mixing with clients.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, where are you on the sort of the strength and conditioning realm? Because we mentioned it briefly just before. Some fighters get to the top and having never moved a weight and having just always done their conditioning with their boxing coaches, the traditional kind of old school way, the technical stuff in the ring, and then just their dogged determination, and they win. And then some guys won't do a training camp without, you know, slamming med bowls and getting strong and 800 push-ups, some squats, without talking about the real Olympic lifting stuff. Forget all that. But where do you stand on that? Do you factor that in?
Yeah, definitely. There's different days for different stuff. So I do a lot of feet work, a lot of agility, a lot of speed. I do a lot of death runs, which is like 7-8k, just sprints on and off. That will take that's one session of my strength conditioning. I do like a kind of CrossFit session, which is like, it's not your one max rep, but it's lifting between 8 and 10 reps, 10 different exercises, non-stop right through. Yeah. A lot of circuit training, and sometimes we do focus on big muscle groups, like for example chest and back, a full chest and back workout, leg and shoulders, bicep tries. But that's everything I just said there. It's like once a week on each thing. It's no, we don't do this every single day, or it would drain your body. Yeah.
Do you do flexibility work? Like, does that factor into it?
Yeah. My coach, she stretches me out every single day, but I would like to get into a bit of yoga. Yeah. I'd like to start doing some yoga.
What do you think that will help you with?
Just loosening off and not being as tight, and just relaxed. Just to relax me when I'm in the ring. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Going back to the weights and stuff, do you lift? Would you lift that now as part of a camp in the run up to the fight, or do you that almost like as an off season when you're just prepping?
No. This has been a 12-week camp, and and I'm 4.5 weeks in. So I've been strength and conditioning for the last 4.5 weeks. I've say I've got 2.5 weeks left of my strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to focus just pure on speed work, feet work, sparring, fast pass, just a lot of punching, a lot of bag work.
Cool. I get it. I get you. That's good. And then are boxing people in general coming more around to the idea of incorporating strength and conditioning, or is there people that are still just doing it?
I don't know. Everyone's different. You know what I mean? Everyone's different. Personally, I like the strength conditioning side of things 'cause it makes me feel, I feel strong, I look good, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it changes the routine and the training as well. So you've got, if you're stuck in a boxing gym like some 4 or 5 hours a day, it can wear you down. You know what I mean? But from changing it from a different gym, different bit of scenery, different coach, strength and conditioning, and then back to the boxing gym there, it's good. It breaks it up. It's good.
Yeah, and then that would almost be the same kind of thing if you did a yoga class, wouldn't it? You get the same benefits. You're going somewhere very different, where nobody knows you. It's just wind down time. Just quietly get on your mat. Namaste.
Yep, that's it.
She'll help you with that.
Yeah. Well, do you know what's really interesting? What I found when I was baby hitting you, what I found really interesting is that you kept saying to me, "Are your shoulders burning? Are your shoulders burning?" And I was like, "No, they're tired, of course, but they never get that feeling that they're really heavy and they can't like work anymore." And I think that has a lot to do with yoga and with being really flexible.
Yep.
And I think that's probably where you see a lot of elite athletes doing cross disciplines in terms of they do say this one particular training like strength and conditioning, and then they do yoga because it just adds something entirely different that supplements what you need in terms of like say flexibility, in terms of mobility, those things. So that's kind of interesting. Did I explain that properly?
Yeah.
Kind of? Semi.
Yeah, when I train a lot of clients and they just start, it's because the mobility as well, and a lot of lactic acid builds up in the muscle. So it's about fixing their diet, making sure they're drinking enough fluid, and just getting that lactic acid gone.
What's your diet like when you're in a training camp?
My diet, I'm on like 3,000 calories a day just now, which is high. But it's because I'm training 3 times a day, and I'm doing a lot of strength and conditioning, which is weight training, on top of my run, on top of my boxing. So my calories need to be high to give me the energy. My strength conditioning will stop, and then my calories will drop to maybe, I'd say 2,000 calories per day, and I'll probably still be burning maybe 4,000, so I'll be in a good deficit still. I know I'm in a good deficit now because I'm cutting good weight. I see myself shaping up quite fast. So
what do you have to lose around about now? Can you say?
I've got 6 kilo, so I'd say just under 1 stone.
That's on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I find it just astounding how fast you guys can lose weight. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy.
No, it's difficult. It's not difficult if you know what you're doing, then it's good. But after if you overload and you put too much weight back on, then that's when you're going to drain yourself and going to kill yourself. So I've gave myself a 12-week camp, and I had like 7.5 kilo to lose. And I'm in front of track, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I kind of try and lose a kilo per week, 1 kilo per week, and I've still got 7.5 weeks left. So I want to be on my weight a week and a half, 2 weeks out before I fight, just so I'm comfortable at that weight. I'm walking about at 70, 154. So when I'm ready to fight, I can just walk in and I feel relaxed and comfortable at that weight.
Is there any use to, when you're not training, to actually try and stay as close to your fighting weight as possible? Do you guys do that? Because I hear so much about like boxers gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight.
Doing a Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, exactly. So is there any like point in just trying to stay quite lean?
I'll be honest, this is the first time from my last fight I've stayed from 70 kilo, 154, to go to 75, so I've only put 5 kilo on. Usually usually I sit 78, sometimes touching 80, which is bad. But it's because I like eating, I like food. But it makes it harder for me when they run up to starting a new camp.
Yeah.
So no, this is the most disciplined I've been, because this is a rematch with a boy that's he's got something to try and prove now. He's got something to try and rectify.
It's also like you said though, about just learning that a little bit more from having 2 more years experience, you know, having a bit more of a experienced professional career. You know, now you know, look, actually if I took into all that tucker there after the fight, it's going to make 6 months' time that a little bit more difficult.
Definitely.
So it's all part of learning, isn't it? Now you're a bit more
well,
in tune with your weight management.
You say that right, but we were just talking off air about like Tyson Fury and him putting on. He was supposedly about 400 pounds.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So what happened there? Like you mentioned that you follow him and you know him.
Yeah. I've met him once or twice. He's a lovely big man. He's a gentleman. But yeah, like you said, he was going through mental health issues.
Yeah, he had a big weight on his shoulders.
So and from to pull himself back from where he was is amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Like absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
To go from 400 pounds to then being able to be fighting at that elite level.
Yeah.
It's amazing, but obviously so much easier if you don't gain 400 pounds and you're at your normal weight.
And he was out for 2 years also, so he was out for a long time. But no, it's inspirational for other people. To go on the bandwagon and start losing it. It shows you it can be done.
When you guys are struggling to sort of turn your head into your weight, look at what he achieved.
Yeah.
But I think there's a difference between your general ill discipline and your carelessness, and then what he went through. He was going through a lot in his personal life.
Yeah.
If you listen to a podcast with him and Joe Rogan, he goes deep into the mental problems that he was having. He achieved so much, he lost his motivation, and he just fell off the bandwagon.
Yep.
And then he had a light bulb moment, and he went back at it and sorted it all out. That compared to like your Ricky Hatton, who it appeared, now I don't know anything, but it appeared that he was just a guy who just enjoyed his downtime, fish and chips, a couple of beers with the boys at the weekend barbecue. You know, just do that for a couple of months, pile on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about the Ricky Hatton fight versus like Manny Pacquiao, I heard that it was because, wasn't it Floyd Mayweather's father that was training him, and didn't he overtrain him at the time? Like that's some of the, you know, when you listen to boxing commentary, that's some of the commentary that I heard, that he was overtrained, and by the time it got to the fight, he actually should have had that fight 3 weeks earlier because he was so like burnt out, so to speak. What do you do for that, and how do you find that really fine balance between like training yourself as hard as you can but then not overdoing it and not like getting over that bump where you're not there?
Well, I'm just coming back. I'm a bit chesty now. I'm just coming back off a little infection now. I trained myself that hard. My immune system was down. I've just pushing myself hard every single day. But now I'm back to normal now, so I'm back in. I've been off training 2 days now. A little antibiotic has helped me right out, so I'm back in the gym tomorrow. But actually, I'm back in the gym today.
I think part of a way to avoid that is by managing your weight. So part of the potential for Ricky Hatton being burned out and overtrained is that at the start of his camp he had to lose 10 stone.
Yeah.
Do you know? So you've got to hammer yourself to lose that weight before you can now start working on your technical,
That's a stone and a half.
Yeah. So part of the problem, potentially he was overtrained, but if he had not put all that weight on between his fights, he would have had a much smoother entry into his camp.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
because then you can focus on other things as opposed to the dropping weight. And obviously when you drop weight that quickly, it definitely puts some pressure on your immune system.
It's
for
stress
sure.
on the body. The body's taking a lot of stress. Your immune system's fighting back. Sometimes it can't cope, and that's when you get run down. Your body fatigues.
Yeah, particularly if you listen to some of the techniques that boxers use to drop weight, like going into those like sauna suits.
That's just fluid.
Yeah, and
that's
then not drinking water,
yeah.
and then obviously cutting calories and still training like crazy. It's tough.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you do any of that on your weight loss journey?
Yeah, but for now, no. I'm drinking 6 litres of water a day.
Yeah.
And if you add this 1 litre 1 kilo onto my weight, so say I wake up in the morning, I wake up and I'm 76, 77. By the end of the day, I'm up at like 82, 83.
Yeah.
But I've drank 6 litres of water
Yeah.
a day, do you know what I mean? Wake up the next morning, it's flushed back out again,
Yeah.
toilet.
So tell me why you drink so much water, just so people can understand. How is that part of the regime to staying really fit and healthy and being at your optimal?
Just to keep hydrated. Your body functions better when it's maximum amount of fluid it can take. Yeah, you feel fuller. Your body works better. I feel it works better for me anyway.
So is that also?
I've got more energy and stuff as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So water plays a big part in your training regime.
I think as well, just only speaking from my experience, when I was 18, 19, 20, I was attempting to play quite elite high level rugby, and I was in sort of the academy setup back in Dublin. We used to drink 2 litres of water a day, like more, to carry the bottle around all through school, all through our university, and you try and go through 2 of them a day. But what I found was that was the kind of the token reminder that you've got a bigger goal. So when you're just hanging out with your mates and they're having crisps and sweets and stuff, it's like you've got your water bottle on the table. It's got its little colourful thing like you have here. It's got your salt in there. So I can't have that because I have this. But also when you get that little lancy feeling of like, oh, I wouldn't mind a snack, just make the water a flavour, and just that's your treat. That's your reminder. That kills the
hunger.
Yeah, suppresses your appetite also. So that's.
Yeah, gives you a little bit of a full feeling.
Obviously, you need to eat a balanced diet as well, but water just helps when, like you says, when you're craving that bit of sugar, that bit of chocolate. Then you've got your bottle of water there to suppress your appetite and keep focused.
Yeah, and everybody likes a little bit of chocolate. I'm going to tell everyone a really funny story because I think this is hilarious. So Steph stayed with us once, and I was trying to warn him that my dog. Marley loves chocolates, and so Steph had a chocolate bar just sitting on the table, and he comes back and he's like, my chocolate's gone. I was like, I told you. And outside are these 3 chocolate wrappers, and the husky had eaten all of them. She downed 3 chocolates, and all you could see was a Snickers wrapper.
I think she ate a wrapper also, didn't she?
She ate the wrappers.
Yeah, I think she ate a wrapper also.
Was she sick?
No, she's got like a stomach like a bull.
Yeah,
crazy dog, man.
Yeah, she's
crazy dog.
mental. So we know you like a little bit of chocolate.
Yeah, of course. But for now, I'm not touching. I'm not having no bread, no bad carbs, no white pasta.
What would you class as a bad carb? What's off the list?
White bread, white pasta, anything that's white apart from white fish.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So potatoes.
Potatoes as well. So it's
when you say bread as well, you're like pizza bases, wraps.
None of this.
Yeah. It's not just like your sliced pan or your baguette. Yeah. So what's going to happen then for Christmas? What are your plans for all those festivities? What are your little strategies? Because you're extreme in the sense where, if your discipline slips, you'll be found out.
Yeah, definitely.
In January. If average gym goers' discipline slips, they'll be okay. Do you know? There's no consequence. There's no retribution. I had a little chocolate. So, at your level, what strategies do you use now when it comes to, oh mate, we're going out Friday for a beer, Christmas time, do you fancy coming along, put your jumper on, put your Christmas lights?
Well, last night everyone was out. There was a big thing on at Soho, in Medan. Steph stayed home. 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night. I was in the gym last night, just trying to break this last wee bit of flame up in my chest.
Right.
I was in the gym 10 o'clock till 12, and when I've came up, had a shower, went to bed. I was lying there and I never slept till 3 in the morning because the phone was just going mad. Where are you? So, but it's these. I need to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And before I never took it as serious as I have now because of the opportunities I've been gave for 2019.
Right.
I can talk about my defence in January 25th, but I've got 2 more fights lined up that I can't speak about just yet. But yeah, it's going to skyrocket my career. It's going to be definitely.
Big time. So then, how are you going to get through Christmas? Will you have a dinner?
I'm going back. I'm going back maybe the 14th of December.
To Glasgow?
Yeah, to Glasgow, and I'm going to go see my family for 2 days, and then I need to go to London training with one of my coaches because he flies back to see his family, and then I'm coming back to Dubai 22nd to the 23rd. So I'm not even having a Christmas this year because this fight means so much to me, because I know Craig Kelly's going to come and give it his all to try and take my belt.
Yeah.
And he's taking nothing.
Right.
So I'm not letting that happen. So I'm going to be, this is the most focused, to be honest, this is the most focused I've been in a training camp.
Yeah.
In a training camp, definitely.
Amazing. It's good to see that amount of determination from you. So, Steph, I'm curious, where do you see yourself in terms of your career, in terms of boxing? Where do you want to take yourself and this like passion that you have for the sport?
Well, I'm 5 fights in now into my career. I had a slow start to my career, to my boxing career, just with a few injuries and stuff that held me back. I was out for a year with a shoulder up. My shoulder kept dislocating, but I'm 5 fights in. I've won a Scottish title. I'm top 20 in Britain. My next fight, it's not going backwards, but it's giving Craig Kelly it's not giving him what he wants, but it's just giving him another crack at me to see what he can try and rectify from his last fight. But he's not going to rectify anything. I'm going to knock him out again, 100%. It's not the fight's not going past 4 rounds. And then from then I've got something lined up for April, which is another belt, and then again after that will be another title, and that'll be very comfortable, put me on a pedestal. So
basically,
I'm more focused than now than I ever have been in my career.
Okay, so I know I dabble in and out of boxing here. So what is the progression once you win the Scottish title? Where do you go from there? Is there there's a British title, obviously, right?
Yeah, but that's down the line.
Okay.
I've won the Scottish. Next in line is there's a few other different titles that.
What are they? Just so I understand.
Celtic title.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would maybe have you could fight for a sanctioning body title, like an intercontinental, an international. You've got a Commonwealth title, but you maybe need to fight an eliminator for this. Then you've got the British title that you would need to fight an eliminator for also. You win that eliminator fight, then you've got a crack at the big title.
What's the pinnacle? What's your pinnacle? What's the dream?
See, a lot of people say this weird, they see yourself, but I just like fighting, man, and wherever it's taking me, it's going to take me. Like where am I now? I never thought I'd have a Scottish title, my 5th fight. I've got it. And it's still not really, it's not sank in yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a belt sitting there. It's not. Yeah. I'm not being that. I don't know. It's just not sank in. But it's starting to hit home now that I'm getting there's a few more belts on the line, a few more titles have been put in front of me.
Yeah. Some opportunities.
And they've been lined up, so it's making me hungry.
Yeah.
So from January 20, when I fight, then I'm straight back into camp. Usually have a rest period. I like a rest period after a fight.
Yeah.
4, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I like a drinking out with my friends. I like to go and enjoy myself. I like to eat food.
Have your Christmas dinner. Have your Christmas dinner at the end of January.
No, yeah. So from then, I'm straight back in camp from January 25th. I actually turned 30 on April 4th. So around about May, April, I don't know, there's another fight will be scheduled around about then. So yeah, I'm basically in camp now until April.
Yeah, fair play.
March, April.
Can you talk a little bit about your injuries? What was it that went wrong with your shoulder? And I see you've got a bit of a juicy scar there on your elbow.
Yeah, that's for motorbikes. That's from
flesh wound.
That's for bikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bad dislocation in my shoulder, and it just kept reoccurring, kept happening. So I think it was my 4th fight or my 3rd fight. I was fighting Victor Edaga. No, Victor Edaga. I was fighting Jan Bolog, a guy from Latvia or wherever he was from, and my shoulder popped out in the 1st round or the 2nd round. So if you watch back on that video, I fought the whole. It was only a 4-rounder, right enough, because that was me just back signed with a new promoter.
Right.
Because I thought my shoulder was better.
Okay.
I thought I'd put myself through a rehabilitation for I'd strength and conditioned it well. 2nd round in, it popped.
Did you throw a punch for it when it popped?
Yeah.
And you fought the whole fight?
Yeah, I fought the rest of the fight with one hand. I just walked off my jab.
Wow.
Did you know it went when you threw the punch?
Oh yeah, you can see it was hanging down past my knee.
Yeah. Didn't go back in?
No. The ref was like, is everything good? I'm going to stop this fight. I was like, nah, I'm good. Lifted my hand up, my shoulder was popped out. Yeah, it was the worst pain in my life.
I bet. Jeez.
Can you, when it does like, can you move it, or is it just like a dead weight?
Dead weight.
Wow. And you
Dead
fought?
weight. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just wasn't taking a defeat on my record. I never wanted a loss. So that's what I'm saying. You need to have heart.
Yeah.
And I just put myself through the pain. I was in so much pain that undescribable. But yeah, I got the win.
Yeah, well, you just got to do what you have to, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
When it's on you.
And you won that fight?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Despite the shoulder. Wow.
Yeah.
With your coaching and the training that you do, is it just amateur professionals like Caroline, or do you train any like young fighters coming through competition?
I'll train anyone. I'll train anyone that wants to learn them. Obviously,
Maybe you could teach Keith.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Took your thumb under your fingers, yeah?
I'm still learning now. I learn every single day. There's not a day that goes past that I don't learn something new. Boxing, I don't know everything, but there's not a day that goes past that I don't learn.
Yeah.
And I'm a personal trainer. I'm a level 2, level 3 reps.
Oh yeah.
Qualified, so I'm qualified to PT and nutrition also.
Yeah.
But I prefer just to stick to my boxing,
Focus on the boxing,
because that's what I know best.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
the love is, isn't it? That's
yeah, that's my passion.
That's when you get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you're gonna have her fighting the.
I remember Caroline wanted to push herself. Caroline was saying, I says, right, so what's my goals here? What do we want to achieve? what we getting out of this boxing? And you told me, you said you wanted to push after your injuries.
Yeah.
You wanted to push yourself as hard as you could.
I still do.
And you wanted to maybe have like a little
charity
event fight. A wee charity event fight.
Well, we would talk a lot about this, because I'd ask you the same thing, like, what do you want to do? Where are you going with this? Then we were talking about, like, I would go and teach him some yoga and stretch you out and stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's still in the back of my mind. That's something that I definitely want to do. Like, I feel like it's really interesting. We had somebody else, Sujith Vargas, on our podcast a little while ago, and Sujith's a really inspiring guy. He's obviously a paraplegic, so he had a motorbike accident, and and I just love the vigor that he has for life. He's just like, I'm alive. I'm going to like do everything. Like, before I was living at like 60%, and now I want to live like at 150.
That's
and I think the same, I kind of have a little bit of that as well. Like, so I can walk, I'm alive, I'm not paralyzed. So I want to see where I can take my body, because this isn't enough for me. It's not enough to like be a couch potato. I want to do more. So yeah, definitely, I'd love to.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
On the podcast, we've met a lot of people, and they've all had different areas of expertise, and they've all been sort of inspiring for different things. And a lot of the people have sort of set tasks and targets on the podcast, and held both me and Caroline accountable for things that we're saying.
I know where you're going with this.
So there's a guy who's going to come back in a year's time and see where we are with our personal finances. There's a couple of people going to come back and see where we are with a bunch of different things. So perhaps this could be the platform now where you decide that there's going to be a certain day of maybe the year next year that you can rope her into a promise where
amateur fight.
In 9 months' time, we'll come back and we'll have another podcast.
Break my body again.
No, don't get hit.
No, definitely. Like I said, I know a few people here that put on boxing shows, so I'll happily train you 100%. I'll happily train you.
I'll come along.
Alright, Steph, let's do it.
I'll happily train you.
I'll come along and document
you'll be winning. You will win, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
How can I lose?
The fighter makes the coach. Yeah.
So we'll do some research and find a amateur ladies. Is it weight dependent in those ones?
Yeah. Match them as close as possible.
Yeah.
There could be a kilo give or take, a few pounds give or take.
But it's kilos on it. We'll get her ready to go.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Anyway, let's go back to talking about you and your boxing career,
we'll
not
just
me.
We'll just note that down and move on.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So Steph, obviously we're going to keep following you. If people wanted to follow you in your fight or wanted to support you, how would they go about doing that?
Instagram. I'm just Instagram daft. I like to post a lot of stuff, a lot of news, a lot of training on my Instagram page. And
do you have a
on
lot
my
of training
Instagram
videos? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I've just started a new Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and I just started posting maybe three, four posts a day. So my story's always active. My story's always busy, training, in gym, out gym, in gym.
And what's your Instagram handle so people can find you?
Stefan_boxer_official.
Okay.
And that's with it,
Amazing.
Stefan with an F.
Stefan, yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Stefan, what was it? Say again?
_boxer_official.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming in. Wish you the best with your camp and then the fight in January. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what's happening.
Thanks for having me.
We'll keep
Thanks very
following you
much.
and seeing how your progress goes. Yeah.
We'll have a little recap chat after it, maybe between one of the second camps when you can talk more about those.
Yeah,
And we'll see how Caroline's getting on with her progress as well.
I'll bring my belt up.
Yeah.
I'll get a
Awesome,
wee
definitely.
picture with a belt.
We'll just
Amazing.
leave it here.
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thanks for coming to speak to us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks again. Thanks for
See
having
you
me.
guys.
Bye, guys.